Okay.
Wait, you think I gained some weight?
I don't think that's a question no man can really answer.
So what?
I don't think it's the right answer to that question. I don't think it's no answer to the question. I think we all are gaining and losing weight all the time. Nobody's pretty staying stagnant. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks. I guess.
Well, no man really wants. There's no right answer. What should a man answer that question?
You should answer it like you should answer it.
Okay. Let's start the show. Welcome to the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast Show, where we believe in every relationship, whether with somebody else or learning yourself. You should laugh, learn, and love. I am your host, Mr. aka Jeffrey Mr. And right beside me is my wife of 13 plus years, 2 kids, and as you've seen, a lot of craziness.
Mrs. Mr. aka Dana Mr. And together we are
the Misters! Yeah! So we're talking about gaining weight in marriage, in relationships. Maybe you're by yourself, you gain some weight, right? So what happened? What do? Can you listen to the person next to you? How do you answer that? If you ask them, I know guys have heard this all the time. I don't know if it's been reversed. But women have asked men for years, since Fred and Wilma, born in.
Have I gained some weight? Does this outfit look right on me?
How do you respond to that? What if it's not true? What if you look awful wearing it? What if I look awful?
But keep in mind, I am a reflection of you and you are a reflection of me. So you want to make sure that, when we go out, we're good.
So, but how do you respond
to that? To go out and looking busted in this.
No, but I think it's the point of what today is saying. Women, I think men can take it all the time. When men get dressed, when men do things, you be like, oh, you wearing that? Or you wearing that? Or you put it on? You gonna put those shoes on with that? We take it all the time. Because men can take things. Women, on the other hand, typically cannot take what that is. They can't take the criticism.
The theme song.
They can't take the
criticism. We haven't
criticism.
done the theme song yet.
You're right. I want to know from y'all. We're going to talk about that later, all right? Here's the thing, so come on.
Laugh, learn, love. Laugh, learn, love.
Hey.
Laugh, learn, love.
It's the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast Show.
Laugh, learn, love. Laugh, learn, love. Laugh, learn, love.
On the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast Show. Oh, yeah.
Let's start the show.
Yeah. And every time you may be your first time watching this episode, we talk about relationship, we talk about marriage, and we build up singles. And so, regardless of where you're coming from, you can learn something as we get ready to laugh, learn, and love. We want to shout out everybody who's already following us on social media. On Instagram, we're at mr.mrs.mister. That's Mr.Mrs.Mr. Mr. Mrs. Mr. And Facebook, the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast. And so follow us, show us some love, send us questions. We love to answer those. Let me see how you guys are doing.
So,
and one more thing too. If you're also listening on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
MPN.
Yes. MPN. Shout out MPN. Thank you for joining the team. And so it's an app. Download the app. We're also on a lot of other platforms as well. Anchor, Listen Notes, on a lot of things. So thank y'all. However you're listening, we thank y'all. Y'all are our MFs.
Yes. So we have
Mr. Family.
MPN on Tuesdays and Saturday nights.
Yes, 8 p.m.
Shout out to Pastor Vince McCaskill. We appreciate another opportunity to spread, positivity about being a young African American couple
married
in
with
2020.
Your kids and all. So we're talking about today. We're talking about how do you handle gaining weight in a relationship, especially if you're married. And if you're the spouse of the person who gains weight, like Dana was saying earlier, about maybe she gains some weight or something, or maybe she has it, I don't know. See, can I even say something about it? Where's the line, right? And many people have, it's a taboo subject you talk about. You may think it, You talk about how you address it, and we kind of get into it very quickly. We want to talk about a little bit more about that.
Yes.
As well, just a minute.
And so we just also want to just, last week, you guys, the show from last week was actually from our Facebook, Instagram live, and so it was an amazing experience. We realized one thing, that y'all are just as crazy as we are. So we had a good time. So shout out to everybody that tuned in on that Saturday night. I think we did it at 9:00 p.m. Everybody was able to put the kids to bed and just had a good time. So again, we're gonna do it again. We just got to figure out another time to do it.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
We're looking forward to another opportunity, a great opportunity for sure.
So thank y'all. If you haven't jumped on there, it's on the old episode 2. You get a chance to see this. The bonus episode number 2. If you look on YouTube or on the podcast, bonus episode number 2. Go back and check it out. A lot of great questions, a lot of things. I won't spoil it for you, but go back and check it out. If you missed any other episodes, go back and check those out.
Yes, and then another thing too, a lot of that took place, within the last week. Mississippi have started to open back up somewhat.
A lot of states too, not just
a lot of southern states have started to open back up, or people are stating. So it's kind of like one of those things. Are we putting more value on money versus people's lives? And so it's one of those things, because we understand that we can't be in this situation forever, totally get it, but it's like, at what cost are we willing to sacrifice other people's lives about? Because the thing about it is, but it's kind of like one of those things too, where we have to start to take our responsibilities for our own lives as well. If you don't need to be in the stores, or you don't need to be going out and that sort of thing.
Some of y'all, I think they're gonna open it up anyway. So I think at this point in time, you gotta do what's best for you. They can't make you go outside. They can't. Whether everything is open, and you don't want to go.
Right.
Don't go. If you feel like your health is at risk, don't go. If you feel like you're good,
so if you can still stick to just doing more of the essential things, such as the grocery store, that sort of thing, continue to do that. Kudos to all the restaurants that still just doing curbside versus opening up their dining room, because I think it would definitely be even crazier if they started opening up dining rooms and that sort of thing. But it was so funny. It's a New Mexico restaurant that's to open up in town, and baby, as soon as I'm not gonna call it out, but as soon as they was able to open,
I feel that.
I passed up one day, and it was like, and I was like, what in the world is going on?
Yeah, I can tell you, because when you eat chips at home, they're not bottomless. You get to the bottom really quick. Your salsa ends quickly. It's a magical
Go to Kroger,
and
that's a tortilla chips. Kroger got a special.
But that's not bottomless stuff. It's not bottomless stuff. It's not bottomless. So thank y'all. Let's get into the episode. In every episode, we like to laugh, learn, and love. And so we start off with a little segment we like to call Whose Side You're On, and then it kicks us off with the Whose Side You're On question of the week.
If you knew your spouse would become as famous as Michael Jordan before you dated them, would you marry them? Why or why not?
If I knew my spouse would become as famous as Michael Jordan, a lot of money, a lot of prestige, a lot of people know us, where we going, would you marry them or not? You go ahead. What do you think?
I would say, considering I know Juanita Jordan was married to him, and
shout out Juanita.
Yes, and so they had an interesting relationship.
I bet she rocking all kind of Jordans. I bet Juanita got all the pairs.
She got a huge set. But I would say yes. I would say I would still date them. I would still date because you can't help who you fall in love with and who you want to spend the rest of your life with and grow with. And I feel like, she, did she know Michael Jordan was going to become the person he was? Who's to say? But they dated, they had 3 wonderful kids. I actually believe she ended up getting, I think she had one of the children before they actually got married or something like that. And so, but I mean, I'm sure she would have wanted to maintain her marriage. But one thing I learned about Juanita Jordan, though, she was a smart woman. She was a very intelligent woman. I believe.
Why you say that? Why you say she was a smart woman? Why?
Because she built up enough evidence. I think she knew. I think she. And then, I don't know, it makes me wonder, did she feel like that, I don't know, it made me wonder, did she feel like that Jordan was...
I think people applaud women to do that, right? I think they applaud women.
No, what I'm stating is, there are some women who stay with them regardless, you know what I'm saying? So she could have stayed with him regardless, but... Okay,
Okay, no, I would say, I think we applaud women for... Well, I'm not saying you applaud women. I think, in general, society applauds women who does take back, right? So let's say Jordan was doing wrong. It wasn't a documentary. We don't know. It wasn't in The Last Dance, so how do I know it's true? But
I did the research after The Last Dance.
The Last Dance said, so it's not true. Jordan didn't put it on the documentary, so it's not true. But no, but yeah, I feel what you're saying. But I think if it was reversed, if she was famous, and I think that's where my thing is saying. So to answer the question, I would have to say no. If the guy was there and having to, be a part of just being the I don't know what you would call it.
So you telling me and that's a stigma though. Mm-hmm. That's a stigma because I was listening to Dennis Rodman with Madonna. You guys know Dennis Rodman and Madonna dated each other or whatnot. But he was saying that it was hard for him because he just became like, oh, you're with Madonna. He lost his identity and all of that stuff. But on the flip side of that, it's fine for women.
You demasculate the man. A man is not designed to do that.
But this is where I believe we become a fork in the road because it's like it's fine for a woman to be in the shadow of a man, but it's not fine for a man to be in the shadow of a woman. Why can't you just
because it throws off the dynamic of what's happening in the household. If the man has to be like, who is gonna help out? Like that's what. And so what you gotta realize is, I'm trying to help somebody. I am. I'm speaking. This is not for me speaking. This is more men population speaking. Mm-hmm. And so if you look at anything, right? Let's say Coretta Scott King was a civil rights leader, and Dr. King was keeping all those kids. We are not physically designed for that. You guys have a dynamic inside of you that is more of a nurturing dynamic. The whole system is thrown off. So the reason I would say that is because if we had the skills that y'all have, y'all should look at that as an advantage. Y'all have a skill set that is very necessary for doing those things that have to be in the. No, I'm not saying it's not a. Y'all look at that as a negative though, saying what you do is a negative. If you can maintain.
But why can't it just be where everybody's equally as important and that nobody's in the shadow or dimming each other light?
How they do it? So I'm saying no. If both things are equally important, right? So what Juanita did and what Michael did. But what Michael's having to do is he's having to stay at practice. He's having to go to the dream team thing. He's having to do those things.
And she at home keeping the kids.
Because she has an ability inside of her. There's a nurturing. No, I'm not. It's not a knock though. I think when people say that because of the way society is set up, it is deemed as saying that is less. That's a shadow of what's Jordan doing. I think what she's doing of raising kids that can be productive is equally important. Okay. But I think because when I'm saying it, I think the natural connotation that people are going to take is, oh my goodness. You trying to say a woman can't do it? I'm not saying that. I'm saying a woman is equipped more. She has a skill set inside of her that we do not have. If roles around and more men were raising kids, like I feel like I do a good job. I feel like a lot of guys do a good job. But for the most part of us as a group, and if I can say this out of the group, fellas, don't take my man card because I love us and I love us, right? And so but we're not designed and equipped to do that. Those kids would be ridiculous. They're already crazy with y'all. And so, well, there'll be more crazy there. So I think we just need to put more value on those who are rearing, raising kids, keeping the household, doing those things up as more of a value in society. Mm-hmm. Jordan is known because people know him. We're like, oh, snap, he's making a lot of money. But that's what I'm saying. That's why she got broke off. She got paid for raising those kids. She got paid.
Yeah, she did.
She got paid. So I think, so it worked out. It worked out.
So
there.
I guess going back to the question, so you're basically stating is no, you would not
because I'm not designed, I'm not genetically designed enough to handle what Juanita Jordan was able to do, or whoever is on that side to do. So I'm gonna look at that. I know I'm gonna get some flack back on this, but I don't care because it's the truth. And I want to say that this is what we're here on this podcast to tell the truth. And most men, if you're being honest, you ask them right now, they would say the exact same thing. And women will take it.
So I would say yes. I would still marry my spouse if he became Miss Famous or whatnot as Michael Jordan.
And I say no. Because I'm not designed. I'm walking in my lane, staying in the lane that I'm in, and I'll be glad to do it.
Because when I was really shocked by Dennis Rodman. I was really shocked by Dennis.
You shocked at Dennis Rodman?
Yeah, I was shocked by his response that he felt
wearing dresses, lipstick,
beside all of that. But I was shocked at the fact that he felt like that he could not. He felt like that he was in the shadow of Madonna because he felt like she was more. But I guess it just goes to show, because even like I think about Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston, he felt the same way.
So you're really proving my point of what I'm saying.
But why as
so
why as men that you guys feel that way?
I told you we're not genetically designed for that. You're asking us to put a square peg in a round hole. It does not fit. And as soon as we realize that in society and who we are, we're better off at what we're doing. And so what y'all doing is you're trying to make us do something that we're not designed to do. And so it's nothing against y'all. Y'all should look at it as a superpower, as a skill set. But instead of looking at the deficit or a shadow,
but I just feel like as we grow, we all want to support each other when it comes to your relationship.
And that's not supporting each other. I just think you want us. I think society now has made men to do everything that women are doing. And
no. I didn't say that.
No, not you. I'm saying society. I said society has created to make men do everything that women can do. You even got on me a couple podcasts ago, like he need to be able to mop the floor. What if my hands are incapable of mopping the floor? Is that a deficit? You should be thankful and say, oh, the Lord blessed me with an ability to do that. Not to say that's one thing, but I'm saying that's an example of what we're talking about. So my answer is no. If I knew my spouse was going to be as famous as Michael Jordan, no, I would not marry them. I would run for the hills because they would put us in a place. She says yes, and that fits the same thing of what I just said. Backs my point up. So that is the point. Let us know in the comments, wherever you're listening to, especially on YouTube or on our social media page. I'm trying to repost this. And then let us know what your thoughts are. And so on the last segment of whose side you're on. So we like to laugh, learn, and love. And so learning the part about what you said in the opening piece here about asking me the question that most men dread and hate, and they'll ask you to say, huh? And it gives us time to rethink about what we're saying. And so what are your thoughts? So let's say, we've been in quarantine.
Mm-hmm. So basically, as you guys know, we have been in quarantine, and there are several different articles out there because of COVID-19, but several articles out there about, I've even noticed from my personal experience that I have gained some weight. And I think I mentioned this before, that I saw Mr. Green. Mr. Green is one of my dear associates. So I saw him and he was like, oh, you better you done gained some weight. Now he's the only person that can say that to me, he's the only person.
So that gets the point.
He's the only person.
So your spouse, your mate or whoever you're with right now, and this is for us, I want to ask you personally, I want them to think about this question of what you said there. So what if your mate, did you notice you gained weight?
No, I noticed I gained some weight.
Okay,
hold on, let me finish.
Okay, I want to ask a follow-up question.
So the thing about it, but the reason why is because I was sick for like 2 to 3 weeks, so I was down, so I could not physically. I tried to build up some energy, all of that stuff, and so I was diagnosed with, with bronchitis, all of that stuff. Corona. So it's just, and then just been at the house, and so I just been reading, and so it's just so amazing. I believe we all have got some COVID-19 pounds.
Once again, I'm just not a judgment place. That's what I'm trying to say. But the point I was trying to get to that centers on the topic of this show, that hits what you just said there is, can your spouse let you know that you gain weight? And if so, how? Because that's the $1 million question. You know you gain weight. Your associate you work with knows you gain weight. And you said, but now your spouse who lives with you, who's one with you, who, when it's convenient for oneness, can do those things.
I believe this was done tactfully, then yes. Hold on, listen.
I'm sorry. I got follow-up questions. I'm asking for the
I feel like if it's done tactfully, and I feel like if you come to, because for me, I was just like, because I have noticed that my pressure and everything has increase as a result of me, gaining more weight and this sort of thing. So I believe if it's done tactfully, and I believe you have to recognize when your spouse is ready to receive the information as well. So give us some examples. Let's break it down practically. So the first thing. But at the end of the day, we know when we gain weight, so I don't need nobody else.
You see? You literally didn't answer nothing that the man said. The question men want to know is saying, if you gain weight, you notice you gain weight.
Yeah.
Because you with him, see you know you gain weight. And so...
You should love me regardless if I gain weight.
That doesn't mean... So, what you... This is so... Oh my goodness, this is so... This is dope. So, I'm going to stick to the points of what... I'm speaking for me. And this is for men and everywhere across the world. This is what we want to do. You notice your lady has gained weight.
Just say, hey baby, come on, let's go walking outside. You don't have to talk about the weight. You can talk more so from the health component. Like, it's healthy for us to walk and get physical, because that is true. Like, no matter what size you are, you know, you can be the skinniest, or you know what I'm saying, you can still be out of shape and not, you know, you can't, you know, so, because even at my smallest, I have been like, oh, child, I need to, you know, run to get my, you know, endurance and everything up and my stamina up. So I believe no matter what size you are, you still need to be actively. And another thing is, this is not to shame anybody or anything like that. I have been from small to big, you know what I'm saying? So it's not to shame anybody, but it's just the fact that as we have to start attacking being more active. You can still stay the same size as you are, but you just have to be active and get more involved and walking and jogging and or washing a car or whatever.
All true. All true. The point that I'm trying to drive home for men is that you're saying tackling. So I'm trying to give all of us, talking myself too, in terms of practically. And you said about the health component, but regardless of your size, you need to be healthy in order to be the very best you can be. Now, how do I approach my spouse and saying, so this is our scenario, right? I'm I'm ice cold. So, but this is what our component is. I would see you get, let's say for example, like, what's something that you would buy that you know I would see you have?
Let's say don't.
You see what I'm saying? I think
so. That was talking about. I have a sweet tooth, and I mentioned on the live broadcast. I love sweets. I do. And so what I've done this week, the kids are not here with us this week, so I made sure when I went to the store, I didn't buy any sweets. At all. Yes. So because I read one article where it was talking about like the more like our home is our home, and where will we have been mostly our home, and so they was talking about we have, it's like out of habit that when you're at home you eat, because usually you're at work majority of the time, but usually you come in the evening, we have what's the word I'm looking for, condition ourselves to go to the kitchen and eat. And so one thing that I did this week was I was like, I'm not going to buy any sweets. So I got salsa this week. I got some fruit and healthy stuff this week. So, so to answer your question, you're not listening.
I am listening to you. I think you're giving something that this is my honest and loving and very loving opinion about what you're saying. I hear that. That is what you're doing right now. The question I'm asking you is a specific situation that may not have happened. And I'm talking about for people who listen right now who may have something. It's for any of us, right? It's for any of us. And I think this is just, it can do two things. Having this conversation can draw you up, or you can be open to it. And so I know you're going to be open to it. You see what I did there? And so what I'm saying is, what I asked you was not what you bought. Good, that's great, that is wonderful. What I'm talking about on time that you do not. Or when times that somebody, let's do this, because let's take your name out of it. When somebody else does not.
I'm going to be honest with you. Jeff comes to me, and he be like, if I give me a Reese cup, I love Reese's. If I give me a Reese cup or a Hershey almond, those are my two favorites. If I do either one of those, and Jeff comes to me and be like, this is what he does. He be like, do you supposed to have that?
I go off the summer, and I'm self-disciplined. I'm self-disciplined to the teeth.
Do you supposed to not have it? Like,
and so this is what I do. I'll listen to you say the things of the question that you asked me at first, or how do I look at this, or like, oh, I can't put this on. And so I'll say, you still look beautiful. And then so what will happen is, it'll be a day later or whatever, and then like, oh, I want this milkshake, or I want this.
Chocolate milkshakes.
And so, but they also add to that conversation of what we're talking about of being there. So I think for us is as a self-disciplined person, I once went 7.5 days with just water, no nothing, and it really helped me in terms of self-discipline of getting my thing. So one person in your relationship may be self-disciplined, or both of y'all may not be, or both of y'all may be self-disciplined. So what I'm saying is, as a person who may be a little bit more self-disciplined than the other person in just that area, right? Could be something else, could be flipped around, but just in the area of food that you need to eat. I'm going off what you're saying. I'm saying the health thing. But sometimes that person has to be able to receive. Like she said, what you mean? You supposed to, and so you got to be able to, now she don't do that, right? But, but I just think this is the $1 million question. I think it's an ongoing question for us. And so of how do you lovingly help somebody get self-discipline in an area that is a temptation to them? She said Reese's Cups, chocolate, smoothies, chocolate milkshakes. See, I don't even know the name of it.
Chick-fil-A. It has to be for Chick-fil-A.
Or whatever. But and so that also adds to the pounds. because all this pure sugar just running right through your body. Uncut.
It's so good. It feels so good.
Uncut. And so I'm the type of person to be like, okay. And so I'm thinking, how does this help or hurt what you told me when you were sober? When you were sober and telling me, you were sober when you was like, you know what? I'm finna cut this. I'm finna look. Oh no, you saw a picture of Laura Harvey, a video of Laura Harvey, like a short video. She's like,
baby,
oh, I got to get I'm finna get my
baby. So, she was so fine. I was like, oh my goodness.
I didn't notice how whatever she is. My first thought process, okay, you're showing me this to help you.
No, I wasn't showing you like.
I thought you were showing me Laura Harvey to be like, okay, you wanna like. I think you can be beautiful at any size, right? I think healthy is what needs to come out of those things. So if you go up some steps and you about to die, it means you're not healthy. If you breathing, and you got to have a machine on to breathe, there is some things you need to do to get that. Right. So I think being able to figure out what those are and do that. So you may be in that situation, and we didn't really solve this yet, as you can see. It's still an ongoing thing. She said she did give a couple tips. That's why I want to get the practical points of using the health thing and being able to actually work out with the person.
But I
food
think,
though, the food. We did get that. The food piece though of saying, will you be able to receive? When I say, smack that milk. It's not good for you though. If I saw you with drugs, love is doing what is best for that person. If I saw you with a needle full of needle drugs, we'll go with a needle.
But this is the thing. Jeff go from one extreme to the next. Jeff asks like that I go and get a chocolate milkshake every single day.
They have to be able to.
I'm like, but Jeff, I think it's perfectly fine. Everything in moderation, and and eating things. But his whole thing is get to your goal, and then you can start in moderation.
Yes.
But I'm just like,
what you moderating for when you ain't at your goal? What you celebrating?
But
what you doing cheat days for when you ain't?
It's not cheat day, it's a cheat meal. But But I just feel like that. So I'm just like, for me, it's like trying to form a healthy lifestyle, but also eat what I want sparingly. Because the thing about it is, let me tell you, I have done it so many different ways. And you know this, I have gone like cold turkey, where I just go hard in the paint.
Do it now.
I do hard in the paint. But the thing about it, it's unrealistic because I'm going to say, I know I'm not going to take away sweets away from the rest of my life. And so, but my thing is, what happens is when I go hard in the paint, I don't do any sweets. I have gone just cold turkey from everything. No meat, no anything. But what happens is, like, if I do that, and then when I started gradually eating back into like, those pounds pick back up. I'm just letting you know how for my body. I can't speak for nobody else's body. But what happens to my body is, because I have gone so hard, and then when I started adding things back in my diet moderately, that's when I started gaining my weight back. So, but as you guys, as women know, this is an ongoing struggle. Women, I feel you.
Should depend on your men to help you.
This is an ongoing struggle for me. I can't speak for nobody else, but it's an ongoing struggle where my weight is up and down all the time, and like it just come hard on me. So yeah, I've been doing
man to help you though. Get your man to help you. Exercise. You brought some good points.
Yes, and I've been drinking my water.
Real food though. That's why I want to tell people. Real food. If you eat out, think of a week. How many times do you eat out? Throw your number out. We're going to throw this and we're going to jump to this article on what you can do in terms of you gain weight during the corona, during the quarantine, during any time, what time you listen to this, right? Here's a
But I pick up a salad.
It's no judgment. That we talk about this is a safe place. We love each other. We love you. Mm-hmm. We love me.
Yes, let's go ahead and get to the article. I talked about the red eye. So basically, what we're trying to solve. So we're helping me help you. So I'm helping me to help you. So
and y'all help us stay accountable for stuff. When this comes up, I'm telling you, we can talk about stuff forever. When it comes on the podcast, though, that's when it be like, okay, now you gotta be real.
Yes.
So it's good.
So I'm helping me help you, and you are helping me. So we're talking about combating the quarantine weight, or not even just quarantine weight, eventually when we get back into life. So how can we combat the pounds that we're gaining? Yes. So as you guys know, this has been definitely a struggle. It's been a struggle for me, just like a struggle for many of us. Like I said, we've been at the home, we're ready to eat, we want to eat all the time and just snack. So a couple of things.
Some men too.
But definitely men too as well. So we want to give you guys we want to give you guys some tips to help you, especially for those who have been at home. A couple of things I just read on is like, you know, you may have to change your environment, meaning like if you know that you eat, if you snack, especially snacker, I'm a snacker, especially if you snack, you know, on the couch or whatnot. Like my thing is, you know, you may need to go outside or you just need to try to change your environment. Wherever you feel like you're snacking more, change your room or your scenery so you won't snack in that particular room.
Mm-hmm. So the first one is
also go ahead.
Manage stress. So manage your stress at home, your work, your life. Manage stress. Do something, exercise. Drink your water when you first wake up. Getting those things that'll help you manage stress. Don't suck stuff in and think of things all the time that you go through. So manage stress. The first piece of this. So be able to manage your stress.
Yes. Also shop smart. You know, when you go into the grocery store, try to go ahead and provide a list. First, do not go into the grocery store hungry. You guys know if you've been in, like if you've noticed, I know if I've noticed, like some of the same things I used to get, my grocery bill have increased. And so, of course, you know how that goes.
So name brands, y'all. Yeah. Everybody name brands.
So, but just, you know, write down your list. Make sure you eat before going to the grocery store and write down your list. And just shop smart. Try to have more fruits and vegetables in your basket. Even if it's, you know, you could do raw or you could do
raw spinach.
Or frozen or canned. Of course, it's the last one, but you know, just make sure you wash off when you open up your can, just wash it off or whatnot. But yeah, so definitely just start shopping smarter.
Yeah, so manage stress, shop smarter. Next is sleeping right.
Yes.
So this is something that we got into when she was on that 3-week quarantine. She watched what's the show you love to watch? HGTV.
Love It Illicit.
Love It. All the Property Brothers, all the other shows.
I love
she watched them all. And so what happened is I would go into, when she was in the quarantine room, it would be 2 o'clock in the morning. Like I'd be trying to go take my son to the restroom and she'd be in that thing, just watching one more episode.
Because our sleep pattern was off.
Yeah, and so try to get that back in control. So, but making sure you get a full night's sleep if you can. Turn off the television.
Yes.
Get in a dark space. Try to not overthink about stuff you can't control anyway.
And so I didn't realize this, but getting too much sleep is just as bad as getting not enough sleep.
I don't know about that.
Let's try to stick to a normal sleep pattern because again that could contribute to inadequate, be linked to weight gain, so inadequate sleep.
Yeah, and the last one is move more. A lot of times you're doing Zoom calls if you're at home stuck in the house right now, or like you watch a lot of TV or you binge watch in Netflix or streaming shows or whatever like that, or Hulu or whatever, and so you binge watch a lot of shows, you don't move. If you're gonna watch something, like put something and say, hey, I'm going to like do something physically as I watch this show. Or if I'm watching something on my phone, I'm going to walk as I'm watching this show on my phone. Mm-hmm. Do something to get moving more. Park at the back part of the grocery store when you go get groceries. You got to walk and move those things.
I do that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, so, but really, because I'm driving 99 Accord, I still don't want nobody to hit my baby. You know what I'm saying? Ayana, I see you up there. But she don't like Ayana. She don't like it. But the thing is, moving more. How can you move more? How can you get something exercise? Get somebody that can hold you accountable for that. Like you talked about the grocery bill earlier. Getting somebody you could text a picture of the receipt to and saying, hey, somebody has a little more self-discipline in those snacks than you have, or maybe yours is a whole lot of meat or something that you don't do in moderation. Have somebody that can do that to hold you accountable. You got to text them those things or walk together with somebody else to do something that keeps you moving, keeps you active. That's the big thing. Drinking water, getting that sunshine, moving more, sleeping right. Oh, you on your way. You on your way. I think that's a lot of our health problems now that we deal with there. So yes. So so definitely that you can get.
So yes, and so before we go to the love part, I definitely want to pause for a second to discuss the Ahmaud Arbery situation. We're definitely praying for his.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
definitely praying for his family. Continue to walk and run on his behalf. Of course, by now everybody is aware. Back on February 23rd of this year, 2020. He was out walking and running like we all do in our neighborhoods. We stay in a diverse neighborhood, but like we all do walk and run in our neighborhoods. And I even shared on my post, most of the time I'm more concerned about being chased by dogs or making sure the kids.
The dog's still out there, but yeah, you're right.
But or making sure the kids are not being hit by a car because they usually like ride their scooters and stuff like that. But this is something that we do daily, like, and so. But he was walking around in his neighborhood. These two people went and basically chased him down like he was a dog, and basically a scuffle occurred, and he was shot and killed. And what's so amazing is it just hit mainstream like last week because the video was released, like most things happen. So this is what I told Jeff. I was like, this is what I'm very grateful for social media, because a lot of things are being suppressed that we don't know about until it hits social media, and that's definitely unfortunate and sad. And they have gone through 2 prosecutors, and now a third. Now they have the third one. So it's just so many things. But definitely continue to pray for his family. Continue to pray for justice, and just realize that we have to start a value. We do value all lives, but African American lives is just as important as anybody else's life. And so until we wake up, it's a human problem. And so until we wake up and our other brothers and sisters walk alongside of us like they did back in the civil rights movement, we're going to continue to have this issue. So we have to wake up. We have to realize, hey, you know what? America, we have a problem here. Like, there is no way that you should be walking or running in your neighborhood, and because it just goes to show racism is still here in 2020. And so just continue to pray for the family. We have gone through so many different emotions. I still have yet to watch the video all the way through, because for me, I already know what the end result is, and it's just so unfortunate. So just continue to pray. Anything you want to say?
No, I think you hit on a lot of things, and so just being cognizant of that, being able to speak up, and just not being indifferent on things that are really affecting the lives of other people. I jog all the time as a black male, and so definitely something that hit home for me. And so praying for his mom, praying for his family too, but also seeking justice, and also speaking to those we love that are in different races, different, I guess, ethnicities too, to use your voice to speak up. And many of you have, and so thank you for that. For those who haven't, to push you to do so as well. So definitely that love anybody in terms of nobody should have to go through that, regardless of race, gender, anything, right? And so just showing love for your neighbor and whatnot too. So get to the love portion here. Thank you, Dana, for jumping in that. Here's your homework, your love work for this week. Be transparent with yourself and or your mate about your health and your weight. So be transparent about it, because many times we hold it in, we're self-conscious about ourselves, and we'll fight somebody if they say so, even our spouse, and they can bring up a little essence of that, and just saying, hey, this is the goal, be transparent, and that can open up communication doors and accountability with each other, saying, hey, I can't do this, I keep failing at this, can you help me? And if they love you, they can join into you with that tip. So y'all can get moving. Y'all can make sure you're getting sleep. You can make sure saying, hey, I'll help do dinner next time. You go ahead and go walking. Or I'll wash and fold the clothes. You go ahead and go to the gym or walk or do something like that to help and be supportive of your spouse. So be transparent, saying, oh, I have gained 22 pounds. Or I have gained whatever, right? And so I want to lose those. Let's get together. Let's put our minds together to do that. Make a plan to change your diet, to drink more water. Our goal is at least 64 ounces. That's 8 ounces. You get 8 cups or whatever right there, right? So, but 64 ounces, at least 64 ounces. So start off your day, having some time. Take these up through the day. Say, baby, you drunk your water? That's what you like it about it? I try to keep up with the book.
Yes. And I would like to say something about groundwater. A lot of times, achieve small goals, because one thing, most people get those big gallon bucket, big gallon thing, and I think that's cool if that helped them, or people get these. But I know one thing for me, especially for those who really not a fan of water or whatever the situation may be, getting those little small 8 ounces, because if you would go through those so quickly. So it helps to, because you're like, man, I achieved the goal. So you can start small. So if you want to start with those little small bottles, and then just line them up on your desk or wherever you working at home, or just have 8 of them and go knock them through them.
So doing that, just chunking those goals. Accountability is key. Having somebody that can follow up with you and get those things done. So that's your love work for this week. Announcement real quick: we're still looking for people for Let's Argue coming up real soon. So if you got an argument that you cannot settle, let the missus in on it. Yeah. If you got an argument you cannot settle, let the missus in on it. We want to be able to help. We have arguments all the time. We try to bring them to y'all, try to be honest and transparent. You guys provide some great feedback. It's just good to kind of talk about it. Sometimes you get angry and you give the cold shoulder to people like that. So being able to talk about that. Go back and watch any old episodes. Send listener questions. Y'all have sent some good listener questions. We got a chance to get on the live, so the next live we're going to jump in with those and maybe jump in on some on Instagram live as well. And so that's all we have for you. And so before we leave, whether you argue about the weight, whether y'all still mad and you ain't saying that to each other, y'all both being quiet, we say this every episode.
Let me tell you something. I was mad at Jeff. Let me see my picture.
She's mad.
I was mad at Jeffrey because he broke my picture frame.
You see what she says? Her picture frame.
He broke our picture frame. And so, yes, he owed me a picture frame. So, yes, it took everything in me to make this episode work.
But that's what
I know he's going to make it up to me and go give me another one.
But this is also important, too. We've been trying to record this episode. I've tried to record this episode 3 times with him before. And so,
last night he came to me and was like, at 11 o'clock, so are you ready to record? Like, he's been on the phone with his coworker. Hold on, listen. He had been on the phone with his coworker. Working. And so then he gonna come in at 11 o'clock talking about, you ready to record? No, I'm not ready to record.
It's about pushing through. You need a help meet. The Bible, I'm talking the Bible now to help me. Me too. I got up 2 hours before you got up, and so I'm still doing it. So that's not the point. See how we argue? So bring your arguments to us. Let's argue together. But we're gonna end the argument with this. Every argument we have and disagreement we have, we're gonna do the Mr. Mantra. Is where you look at your spouse when they put the water down, and you look at them. And I want you to tell them, "I like you, I love you, and I want you." So yes, thank you. We did not sell the argument all the way together. We'll continue this going on. You put forward. Talk about it though. You must talk about it. That's for anybody in a relationship. Stay together. Keep working on it. It's choosing your spouse every time, right? So we love you. God loves you. And ain't nothing you can do about it. Sing us out, Mr. 1, 2, 3. Come on.
Laugh, learn, love.
Hey.
Laugh, learn, love.
Hey.
Laugh, learn, love.
It's the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast Show.
Laugh, learn, love.
Hey.
Laugh, learn, love.
Hey, 13 years.
Learn, love.
On the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast Show. Yeah.
Yay. Have a great and amazing week. Woo, 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 woo.
You gonna say that's our show?
Oh, and that's our show.
You see that? You see what I did? Yeah. Thank y'all. God love you. Go back and watch some old episodes. Make sure you subscribe on whatever you listen to and rate on Apple Podcasts. We love y'all. Thank y'all.